Hey guys, welcome to my video. This is potentially the first video of a beginner series I might do. And just a disclaimer, I am not a painter. I have never painted in my life. But as you can see with the release of Space Marines 2, there has been a huge increase in new fans, including myself. I have a very obsessive personality, so as soon as I've done at least 100 hours in Space Marines 2, I thought, right, where to next? Hundreds of hours of lore videos, I still don't know shit about it, but I found myself in a Games Workshop store, and here we are. Got the starter set for the Ultramarines. Again, I've never painted before. I've seen a couple of clips, couple of videos, couple of tutorials, so I'm going to be trying to remember that the best I can. This video, I'm just going to do one Space Marine, and then, yeah, potentially how it goes, how much I enjoy it, how much people want to see it. I might continue and try and do maybe different styles for the next three. And again, complete beginner. Do not expect this to be a tutorial. Probably do not follow what I do. This is just going to be for shits and giggles and see how we go. So, starting off, as you can see on the table, I think I have everything that I need. So I've got some clippers so I can actually take out the miniatures out of the box. This is kind of stupid, I don't even know why I wrote this down, but in order, this is pretty much what I was going to do. Primer, base coat, shading, and finishing off with the highlights. Got some brush cleaner for the end of this one. I did go on Amazon and buy some cheap brushes. I don't know if these are good or bad, but probably the fact that I said cheap is all you need to hear. I also got some grey primer from Amazon as well. There are so many primers online, I don't know what's good, what's bad. All I know is that it said plastic, so that's what I went with. Just a cup of regular water to help clean the brush, and then I saw a little tip of getting some paper towels slightly damp on top of a hard surface, and that'll just keep the paint nice and wet as I'm going, just so it doesn't dry throughout the process, because this is going to take me a long time. Okay, well, with that said, the first thing I'm going to do is take out the model and put them together. So first impressions, I've just opened it up, and I have to say it is a lot smaller than I thought. Every video I see makes these miniatures and even the paint bottles just look a hell of a lot bigger, but these little guys they're really, really tiny. Which is only slightly concerning because I've got long fingers, so this is going to be very delicate work. And in fact, it makes me wish I got one of those base platform thingy-mabobs just to help me hold the miniature in place and have a bit more control over it. So, okay, well, I'm just going to start clipping these now. Okay, I'm not going to lie, I've sat here for like 5 minutes. I am so nervous to clip these things. It feels so, they're so tiny, and I thought these clippers were tiny, but they don't quite fit nice. Alright, YOLO. Come on, come on, come on. Woo! Okay, it's out. I think I'll have to, I know I've seen some videos where I gotta use a knife to kind of file some stuff down. Let's try. Oh, that one's like, I don't want to take off his little stumps there so the arms can go on. I'm just going to go right at the edge there. What do I get? Okay. I don't know if you can see that. How's that? So there's a little bit there I got to take off, and quite a lot there I'll clip off there. But yeah, pretty cool. So as you can see, there's the first chest piece. As you can see, I just got to cut off a little bit there, and I luckily did not cut off the big stump there because I was very close to doing that until realizing that goes into the base. And there is still a little bit I have to get rid of in that one as well. So I just have some box cutters. I know other people have these precision knives. I haven't got any, so I'm just going to try cut it with this. Sorry, the lighting's not great, but I want to see if I can show you guys as well. If I can get the camera to not be blurry, please, that would be great. Okay, so I'm going to try and get a good angle for myself so at least I can see. And I'm just pulling the blade a little bit towards me so you can see I'm getting little tiny bits off at a time. And that's all you need to do. I think I've learnt very early that less is more. Okay, so I'm just using my thumb, pushing very slightly and just dragging it downwards. Okay, and I'm just getting little tiny bits at a time until it's nice and flat. Right, and there we go. So I've got them all together now. He's not absolutely perfect. I did use the box cutter to trim off little bits and pieces. Still not completely perfect though. I will say it'd be so much better if these things were like slightly bigger, because holy crap, these are a lot smaller than I thought. Considering the amount of money you spend on these things, it does kind of make you think about your bank account when you think about going to buy some more. I do know that this is the starter set, so there probably are Marines that are, if I wanted to continue Ultramarines, there might be ones that are a lot bigger than this, obviously tanks and whatnot, but specifically the Marines, I'm curious if this is just the standard size. Alright, so I am now going to prime it. Alright, so he's nice and primed. That took about 5 seconds to do. Not really sure if I handled it right. I did go outside to do it. I also wore gloves. I got it all over the pavement, but the sacrifices we make for our hobbies, eh? New hobbies. I did miss a little bit on the base. I'm not going to worry about it too much, so I'm just going to give it maybe another 10 minutes. It's already been resting for 5. And then I'll start with the base coats. Alright, let's see how we go. I've got my paint. I honestly don't know anything about how to get the right, texture of the paint or anything like that, so I'm just going to see how we go. So I might start with the back piece and the top of the head and just work my way down. Okay. Okay, so that's the first base coat done, and I've learned a couple of things from the first time painting miniature. Firstly, have good lighting. I don't know how good the camera is doing right now, but it is really dark in here. I've got my lights on and everything. It's still quite dark, so maybe investing in some kind of lamp, overhead lamp, would be a really good idea. Another thing, I reckon painting with the miniature not assembled is a lot easier. So I haven't gotten to the chest yet because the gun's in the way. So after this dries, I'm going to take the gun off and get to the chest area and just do that completely separately. I don't know if other videos were doing that. They probably did, and I just forgot. But yeah, just for the first coat, it's a really nice blue. I have missed areas, of course, but hopefully the second layer will be fine. I'm hoping I don't have to do a third, fourth, fifth, obviously. I don't want to ruin the details. But yeah, I'll start off my my second coat when it's done. And that is the second coat done. So it definitely looks a lot better. Definitely got a lot more of the creases that were missing. I am trying not to get like the leather bits, but it's so hard to not do that. Even like getting the little bits that are going to be black under the knees and under the arms and things like that. But I think it's okay just to paint everything blue. I guess we'll see. I was trying to go fast and rough and not think too much about it. So I still do see a little bit of grey poking through. Technically, I only did one layer on the chest. I tried not to touch the very middle part because I just want that to be gold. So I am going to go with a third layer and just be very, very light. I might add a bit more water perhaps, just so it's not too thick. Okay, so let's see what it looks like after the third. And that's the third coat done. That'll be the third and the last coat done. I'm actually a lot happier with this one. And funny enough, as you do with new things, you learn as you go. And I'm finding I'm starting to get slightly more accurate with the brush strokes. I feel like I was kind of everywhere in the beginning and I'm slowly starting to get it. So after this dries now, I'll do the gold in the middle and I'll do the gold trims around the shoulders. And then I might see what to do about the jetpack. I'll probably add, I don't know if I've got some silver there or black. I might just use black. And then I don't think this set comes with any of the, I don't think there's any browns. No, so there's just golds and blacks. So that's just what I'm gonna have to use for all the leather. Yeah, so that's it for the 3 ones. Let's see what it looks like after I've done the gold. Alright, sorry, so I've progressed quite a bit. My phone ended up running out of batteries, which I didn't even realize. But I've done the little bases on the shoulders, done the gold chest, and I've started on the gun. Haven't progressed too much on that one yet though. But I've also done a wash as well, which are very confusing. I honestly didn't know what the effect I was meant to get. I was definitely learning as I was going, getting the right textures. I think the legs are the best part of it, and I actually started off with the legs too. So it kind of, the details kind of pop out just that little bit more, right? But then when I moved up to the shoulders and the arms, like look how dark the arms went. And I feel like I didn't even change very much. Now with the shoulders, I actually went over it again with the blue, just a little bit, because they were like almost completely dark, completely black. And I'm like, what the hell did I do? So maybe I had to use a bit more water to bring it down, or to slow it down, or maybe get the dry brush and try and soak up some of it. But I don't know, it was very confusing how it all worked. Okay, so I think the last part, I'll finish off the gun and I'll also I'll attempt to do some highlights. Right, a much needed progress update. I have attempted highlighting. It is a nightmare. I have made lots of errors. There's lots of things I've learnt from painting this little guy, but this is definitely not something, and look at that. Look at that. How the hell do I fix that? I've dropped paints everywhere. I've used so many brushes, I don't know what color's what now. So organization skills are not helping me out here at all. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and fix that up. I got no idea how, just a bit of white, bit of blue here, there. I don't know, I feel like for next time, I need to look more into proper brushes. A lot of these ones that I have, they get to a point, and the camera's definitely not going to get it, but there's like one more strand that's really, really long, and it gets in the way, and it doesn't actually like put paint on where I want it to go. I don't know if it's probably just me though, to be honest. It's probably just me. And another thing I'm really struggling with, especially when I was doing the highlighting, I've made a lot of errors in the highlighting, is when I'm getting really close and I'm trying to be steady, I can't. Like, look at this. You can actually see it on the camera. I'm trying to be still right now. I can't sit still. I don't know what's going on. So every time I try and come in for something fine, it's all wiggly and shit. But I'm enjoying the process. It requires a lot of patience, a lot of control, and these are all things I don't have. So I'm not going to give up. I'm going to finish this guy off, and I will give the other 2 guys a go on another day. I think this is all I can do for now. But yeah, the next clip will be the finished product. And there we go, my finished very first Space Marine. Very exciting. Obviously, you guys who've been doing this for ages can see all the errors just everywhere along the gun, the highlighting, the failed emblems there, the screwing up highlighting, the legs, even the base. I probably could have done another coat with the grey still coming through it. But I had a really good experience. It was a good amount of fun. I guess the main takeaway, the size really got to me. I didn't realize how small these were. And considering the amount of money you spend, like I spent $60 Australian dollars to get these 3 guys, and it just feels bad to spend that amount of money and come out with a shit product, I guess. Or I have a different product depending on how good the painter is. So it's hard to think if I want to go back and spend more money, unless I had a bunch of free models to practice with. That would be awesome, and then actually come out with a good product. But overall, like, I'm not unhappy with this little guy. I think he serves as like a little baseline from now on. Like, I must do better than this from now on. But I do have some thoughts and takeaways. So first, the lighting. I think the lighting's better now from the beginning of the video, because I did manage to find a lamp and it did make life a lot easier. So I fixed that a little bit, but as you can see, still needs a bit more assistance on that one. Learning how to control the bristles of a brush, that was really challenging. They always went in areas I didn't want them to go in. And I have seen some little tips and tricks of twisting it on the ground before you actually using it, but yeah, I need to practice with that a little bit more. Having patience. So there were times I didn't want to wait for the paint to dry before I just started painting again, you know? So having the patience to step away, do something for 15 minutes and come back. And I guess in the same line with that one is to just be efficient with your time. So if I'm waiting 15 minutes for something to dry, there's still objectives for me to do in the meantime, you know? So if I had the gun separate, so really I should have just painted the Marine, and then when that was drying, spend the time to paint the gun. But I didn't do that, I was too dumb. So that's a little tip for next time. Another little tip that I kind of learnt is to paint everything separately. You know, I put everything together, I primed it all, and then I painted it all together. It was so hard to get into the nook and crannies of this little thing. Okay, so I reckon doing it separately is going to be a lot easier. And the last thing that I need to learn and practice is the thinning of paints. So getting the water to paint ratios right. Because every time I did it, it was practically different because I just didn't know what I was doing. And I also wanted to experiment. You know, I'll do 2 dabs of paint, 2 dips of the water, you know, and then 1 water, 3 water, whatever it was. And it was interesting to see how sometimes the paint would just fly off it and not stick to it at all. And then other times it would just bulge up into one spot and I'd have to fix it later on. So yeah, that's my takeaways, guys. Let me know what you think. Please link me any videos you think would help me out with regards to anything with Warhammer painting. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you found it useful, especially to any noobs out there. It's not a daunting experience. It's just a lot of learning as you go. And you know what? It was fun. This took me 4 hours, by the way. So yeah, just get ready for your first time to be a bit of a slog. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. See you next time, maybe.